If you're a visual learner or you're looking for another tool to help you find stocks in the stock market to invest in, or both of those things, make sure you are using FINVIZ Maps. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the neat features over at FINVIZ, particularly their Maps tool, and how they can kind of help you get to what you're looking for in the stock market. So I'm here at FINVIZ. This is their Maps section. It's real easy. It's just finviz.com. I'll go back to the landing page. This is finviz.com right here, and you click on this Maps button. It's really that easy. I'm not logged in, so you do not need to register an account to use this tool. However, if you do purchase their upgraded account, you do get a couple of perks. The big one probably being that it's an ad-free layout. As you'll see throughout this video, there are some pop-up ads every once in a while. They're a little annoying. If you upgrade to that FINVIZ Elite account, then you'll get rid of those. And then the other thing for the maps is that they'll be in real time. There won't be a 3 to 5 minute delay on what that stock is doing in the stock market right this second. There will be no delay. It'll be real-time information. So I just wanted to show you that to kind of give you the difference between the accounts. But this maps function at FINVIZ, as is everything else really at FINVIZ, it is free to an extent, and then you can upgrade to a better version of it if you want to pay for that upgraded account. Okay, so like I was just showing you guys, you just click on this maps button, and here we are. You kind of get this really nice visual of the stock market, what all of these stocks are doing right now. It's color coded. Down here it'll show you the brightest green is more than 3% gain on the day, and then the brightest red is more than 3% loss on the day. That's kind of their key to keep in mind as we're looking at these stocks. So this is a daily snapshot of the stock market. We know this because right here it says 1 day performance. You can change this if you want to look at how these stocks have performed over the last 6 months. Change it to 6 months. It's that easy. You can see the stock market, almost the entire stock market has done really well over the last 6 months compared to just today, right? This is a lot of green. Like I was saying, with that key down at the bottom, green is good. And you see this key changes as we change our time frame, right? So the brightest green means 24% now, whereas on the daily, right, the 1 day performance, we were just talking about a 3% gain or so for the brightest green. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're changing your timeline. What the colors mean is going to change as well. So this is just the S&P 500. These are the biggest 500 companies in the American stock market that are profitable. That's basically what the S&P 500 is, and the size of these blocks equates to their market cap. So how big is that company, right? So the biggest company in America that's publicly traded is Apple, right? So it makes sense that this block right here is the biggest one on the screen, and then Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Facebook, Amazon, and so forth, right? So your biggest companies are going to display the biggest blocks, and then it makes sense that the smallest blocks, if we zoom all the way in, the smallest blocks are going to be the smallest companies in the S&P 500. Okay, if you want to look outside of the S&P 500, if you want to look at maybe some other countries, you just click on this world button right here, and you can see, okay, what's going on in the world? What's doing well today in the world, or what's not doing well? Well, we see that China's having a pretty good day. There's a lot of green over there, right? We see Canada is just kind of a flat day. There's a lot of gray, right? There's not a lot of green. There's not a lot of red. It's just kind of flat. And you can change, like I said before, you can change this 1 day performance to show, let's do 6 months again and see what's going on in the world. China has not done as well over the last 6 months, whereas Canada and Europe have done great. Looks like Taiwan and some of the other countries in Asia have done pretty well outside of China. So you kind of get an idea of what's going on here, right? And of course the blocks inside of these countries, like I was saying with the S&P 500, the size of this block equates to the market cap, the size of the company. So Baba right here, Alibaba, that is the biggest publicly traded company in China. So it gets the biggest block. And then you got Taiwan Semiconductors right here. That's the biggest block in Taiwan because it's by far the biggest company in Taiwan. Moving on over to the full. This is all of the stocks, and it gives you a little description up here. All stocks listed on U.S. stock exchanges categorized by sectors and industries. Size represents market cap. Okay, so this is not just the S&P 500 anymore. This is now all stocks in the U.S. on stock exchanges. It's a lot more stocks. And you've seen I've had to click out of these ads down at the bottom of the screen a few times now. So you're going to get these ad pop-ups if you don't have a FINVIZ Elite account, just to let you guys know. You can also sort by exchange traded funds and see how particular ETFs or funds have done over your timeline. So that's interesting as well if you're looking for a certain ETF to invest in. Maybe you want to do you're looking at VTI versus VOO. You want to know which one has done better historically over the last 6 months. It looks like VOO has done a little bit better than VTI, so maybe you want to put your money in that one instead of that one. There's a lot of different things that you can use this for. It's a great visual learning tool in my opinion. All right, so that's the maps. There's another visual tool here that I want to show you, not just the maps. The bubbles is pretty cool too. So right now we're on map, click over to bubble, and we get kind of a bubble chart of the same kind of information that we were looking at before, but we can manipulate it a little differently now. You can see our x-axis and y-axis we have as sector and change. So this change means the change in price for today. Right, so we can see like all the way up here, Tesla is all the way up at 5%. That means Tesla is up about 5% on the day, and you can see right in the middle of the screen there that it's up 4.96%. So Tesla's having a very good day, whereas it looks like most of the S&P 500 is right here, right in between being down 1% and being up 1%, or maybe up 2%. It looks like the vast majority of the S&P 500 is in that range, and we have a couple of outliers. So that's good information. That makes me wonder, what's going on with Tesla. It's vastly outperforming the rest of the S&P 500. That's very interesting to me. You have another company right here, Ford Motor Company, that's right behind it. They're both auto industry companies, so something's going on with the auto industry, right? And right here it says bubble color is the sector that they're in. So if we scroll down, we can see what all these colors equate to. Orange is going to be consumer cyclical, so that's interesting. The consumer cyclicals have this kind of like line right here of companies that have performed pretty different across the day, right? We've got Tesla and Ford all the way up here at the top, two auto companies, but then you've got kind of this trail of stocks coming down. It's just interesting to look at, right? And now I'm wondering, why are some of these down here not performing too well? What is this NOV down here? It's getting kind of beat up today, right? NOV Inc. I don't know that company, but I might want to look into, why are they having such a bad day? And that's just the default options for this bubble chart. I mean, we can change all of these things over here to whatever we want. You can even change the bubble size from market cap to something else. I mean, right now we can see over here these huge bubbles, Microsoft and probably Apple. Yep, that one's Apple as well, two of the biggest tech companies in the S&P 500 and in the world. You can see down here red is technology, right? So you got Microsoft and Apple, that makes sense. And then over here, these giant yellow bubbles, those are communication services. So you got Google and let's see, Facebook, some of the social media companies, and this giant orange one is Amazon. It's a consumer cyclical. So you can see that these bubble sizes refer to the market caps. We're talking about some of the biggest companies in the world when we look at these huge bubbles. But you can change that bubble size to represent anything that you want. If you want to know, okay, what has the most volume traded today? How many shares have traded on these companies? Well, when we change that, Now the size of the bubble no longer represents the size of the company. It now represents how many shares of that company have traded today, aka volume, right? So we see this one right here, Ford Motor Company is probably the biggest bubble on the screen by far, and that means that it has the highest volume today. It has the most shares traded. So that's pretty interesting, right? That means there's a lot of interest in buying and selling of this stock today, by far more than any other company. It also helps that it's a pretty cheap share price. It's right around $15 right now at the time of this video, so that helps be able to trade a lot of shares, right? Whereas a stock like Amazon is $3,000 a share. There's not going to be as many shares traded, so the volume's not going to be as high. But that's a whole separate topic. I'm just getting at this bubble size. You can change it to whatever you want in this list. We'll switch it back to market cap just because that makes sense to me on my eyes and my head. I like looking at the size of the company equals the size of the bubble. You can go down here and change any of these things. You can mess around with this and have a lot of fun with it. This number down here represents how many companies in this sector. So we're looking at the S&P 500, so it makes sense that there would be just about 500 companies that we're looking at here. And then this axis right here is the percent change on the day, like I was saying earlier. So it goes all the way down to -6% because we have a company that is approaching that on the day, and it goes all the way up to +5% because we have a company up there. Whereas, in this sector, if we had a company that was up 10% on the day, I'm sure that this axis would go up that high. Okay, so you got this bubble chart here, another visual tool to play with and kind of just manipulate however you want. You can change this to show you whatever you want. You don't have to look at the S&P 500. You can look at the Dow Jones if you want. Okay, so that is it for the bubble chart. Highly recommend if you are a visual learner or you're just looking for another tool to use when you're looking for stocks or you're trying to screen stocks for whatever reason. If you're not using this yet, highly recommend you come and check it out. At least check it out and see if it's something that you want to use going forward, because it's a very cool tool. It is a very cool tool for visual learners, people that don't want to go reading through articles all day. They just want, boom, I just want to look at this real quick. It's easy on the eyes. I can see immediately when I click on one month performance that, hey, look at all this green. These are all of the companies that have done really well over the last month. Look at all this red. I can tell that these are all the companies that have not done well over the last month, and it's also broken down into sector. I don't even think I mentioned that before, but we've got it. The map is filtered to the S&P 500 right now, and you can see there's kind of sections here, right? You've got all your technology companies right here, Microsoft, Apple, Adobe, Nvidia, things like that. And then you've got all your financials down here, right? Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Berkshire Hathaway, and so forth. All of your different sectors are grouped into their own little blocks. So you can see that certain sectors have done better than others over the last month, and whatever time frame you want to change it to. You can short this. You can sort this by all kinds of things, right? What sectors are being shorted, right? For short squeezes. Short squeeze is a big thing lately with GameStop and AMC, right? That's a popular talking point, at least. And if you want to get really risky with your trades and investments, you can get into that stuff. You can look at what sector, what company has a high interest of being shorted, right? See, AMD right here is really red. That means that it's probably being shorted a lot, 7%. It's not a massive amount, but this one right here, ADI has 11%. Okay, so it's just one extra tool to put in your tool belt. Okay, I think that is about it for kind of going over what you can do with the maps and bubble charts at FinViz. Lots of good stuff here, guys. I didn't show you everything. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview and bring it to your attention that this is something that you can use to kind of get a visual idea of whatever you're looking for. If you're the kind of person who just doesn't want to read articles all the time, you just want to look at something pretty or easy on the eyes and get an immediate reaction of what's going on, then this is the tool for you. All right, that's all I've got for this video, guys. I'm Brad with the Money Dad channel. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber yet, just to let you know, I do some of these how-to videos. My whole channel is kind of based around stock market, stocks, trading stocks. I do some of these how-to videos. I do some investing basics videos, but a lot of the videos on my channel are stock chart pattern setups on specific stocks. I'm looking to trade those. So go check those out if you're interested in that, or if you want more how-to videos or investing basics videos, go check those out on my channel. But just to let you know, a lot of my videos are going to be kind of, setups, what I'm looking for when I'm trading stocks, stock chart patterns, and technical analysis, things like that. Okay, guys, that's what I've got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.